يا نفس إن لم تظفري لا تجزعي.
So who said that you can't do something worldly? The concept of worshiping the dunya, that's the X. The concept of being greedy, having an insatiable gluttony for the dunya, doing haram acts for the dunya, conniving and scratching and backbiting and lying and cheating for the dunya, that's a different story. Sacrificing the deen for the dunya is a what? Different story. But there's no text in the Quran and Hadith in which you can't have anything worldly or fall to anything worldly. And this is one of the worst misconceptions that many Muslims have. And Ibn Rajab rahimahullah and Jami' Ulum al-Hikam, he explains this, of the conflicting understandings that people have based off of many athar of the Salaf with regards to the dhamm dunya, the dispraise of the worldly life. And we've spoken on this many times. Okay, the slow falling of petals. We spoke about this, about the concept of zuhd and things like this in the dunya. But Ibn Rajab, he explains that the dunya is not madhmoom or madhmoomatun lidatiha. It isn't blamed for what it is. We don't take this spirit of the world is cursed, the earth is cursed, everything is bad. No. The asr of the dunya, the asr of the earth is, no, not khair, it's beautiful. It's magnificent. Why? Because Allah made them and created them. Allah clearly says, وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا, we have adorned the heavens. We've adorned them, made them look pleasing and flashy. So Allah, He made the earth and the heavens. خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ فِي سِتَّةِ أَيَّامٍ, 6 days. Allah Azza wa Jal in Surah Al-Nazi'at, He talks about this. He talks about this in Surah Al-Baqarah, how He perfected the creation of the heavens and the earth. So the earth is not bad by itself, the world is not bad, but it's what's in the dunya. The people, the illegal money, the illegal sex, the illegal drinking, this and that, those things which are bad. But the things in the dunya are tayyibat.
Don't know how to balance your deen and your dunya a lot of times is because you see those things as two separate things from each other, but we should look at them as one. Let me explain. When you make the reason why you do your dunya things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it becomes for your deen, it becomes for your religion as well. It becomes an act of worship. Did you know that studying is an act of worship? Because some people consider going to school and getting a job as a dunya thing, but it's not a dunya thing if you make your intention that it's for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whether you go to work and you're providing money, and that money is for your family, or maybe you donate that money, a portion of it, or you spend it on food, you buy gifts for the people you love, and you say, Ya Allah, I'm doing this for your sake, it becomes an act of worship. When you go to sleep at night, if you say, Ya Allah, I'm going to sleep so that I could wake up and pray Fajr, so that I could worship you better. I'm resting so I could worship you better. I'm feeding myself so I could worship you better, so that I take care of the body, the amana that you entrusted with me, the thing that you entrusted with me, which is this body. It becomes an act of worship. So first of all, change your mindset around that. Do things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make your job for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make everything that you do for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When I'm spending money on clothing that is modest, I'm getting good deeds for that. And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help.
Sometimes I'm like at the evening, I'm like, yeah, astaghfirullah, should have done more for everything which is important.
Where do you think you could have done more?
In my religion, also with the Quran, making my relationship with the Quran better.
You know, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, "Khairul umuri adwamuha wa in qalla." The best deeds are the ones that are the most consistent, even if they're little. I want you to get in a disciplined habit where you have a schedule of, here's the time you're going to give to Allah's book, here's the time you're going to give to memorizing, here's the time you're going to give to your sports or games or whatever. The more disciplined you get, the more there's not going to be room for guilt because you're following a plan, right? And that plan will lead you to slow but definite progress, right? But without a plan, it's going to be hard. Then you'll end up feeling guilty every time.
So when you wake up in the morning, if you do intention that I am doing this action today, I'm going to school, college or uni, whatever, I'm doing this action for Allah's sake. That entire day becomes an ibadah. Getting ready is an ibadah. The journey you're taking to your destination, the notes you're going to take in your class, the lunchtime you're going to have, everything you're going to do, throughout the day, because your intention was, I'm seeking this knowledge for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The entire day has become an ibadah. So intention, it's very powerful. Also, sometimes we initially have very strong intention. I'm doing this for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but then we forget. So, you're going to start your year with, very good intention. And then after some time, you get tired and you become lazy because the shaitan, he doesn't want you to do anything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he's going to keep on coming and whispering to you, and you're going to feel lazy. You'd be like, it's a rainy day. I don't feel like going. I think I'm just feeling tired. So I think I'm going to miss a day. The moment you start missing school or college and you start becoming lazy in your studies, shaitan has actually achieved his objective. He wants you to be lazy and he doesn't want you to do anything for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, make sure you understand his traps and you don't listen to him. And intention will really help you. I personally, when I was a student, I used to do my intention daily. So I didn't personally do it straight away in the morning when I woke up. Every time I used to get to my building, just before entering the building, I used to remind myself that I am here seeking this knowledge for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if I'm going to be a knowledgeable person, it's good for my deen. Because seeking knowledge is going to make me a strong believer. And in the hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told us that a strong believer is better than a weak believer.
A lot of the time, we tend to think of school as one thing and our faith, our deen, as a separate thing. But what if we were to bring the two together and create an overlap, inshallah? So that while we are working on school-related things, we are also racking up deen points. So let's look at 5 different things we can do, inshallah. Number 1, intentions. Our faith teaches us the importance of intentions, and we get rewarded for those intentions even if we don't follow through with it. How generous Allah is with us. For example, someone's intention could be that they are working hard to get good grades because they want to be able to make a good income and support their parents, because our faith encourages us to be good to our parents. So this is an example where our faith plays a role in our intention. And subhanAllah, the more you can link your intentions to your faith, the easier and easier you will find it to complete those tasks, inshallah.
Make sure that you are centering your life around Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything that you do is for Allah. We belong to Allah and to Him we shall return. How can you balance a schedule? How can you balance so many things? I actually get asked this question so many times, and let me tell you guys, I am a productive person and I love being productive, but I'm not always like this, and nobody is productive all year round. There is some weeks where things come up where, like when I came back from my Morocco trip, I was jet lagged. I couldn't function as I normally would have if I wasn't jet lagged. Sometimes I'm on my menstrual cycle and it's harder for me to get up early, like you need more sleep, you need more rest. So you have to listen to your body and being okay that not every day is gonna look the same. Not every cycle of your life is gonna look the same. There is certain times where you have so much time that you can dedicate to memorizing Quran, to reading Quran, to stuff like that. And there's other times in your life where you are so busy that you have time for 2 pages a day. And don't minimize that. Don't minimize that 2-page whatever of Quran a day or memorization, or you only have time to listen to a 10-minute lecture instead of an hour lecture. But be okay with that. Like, give yourself grace. As long as you're trying your best, you're putting your best foot forward, then give yourself grace. Even if you're not happy with how far you're progressing, be graceful with yourself. I was really hard on myself about a year ago for not having as much time to dedicate to the deen as I used to when I was younger, which was the year prior. But I remember, and I was talking to a scholar, a female scholar, and I was telling her, and I remember I cried, and I was like telling her how like upset I was with myself, and she was like telling me, your whole life isn't gonna look like this. Like at some point, you know, you're gonna have kids, you're gonna be busier, but then when these kids grow up, you're gonna have a lot of time, and all of a sudden you have so much time to do all these things. So every cycle of your life is gonna look different, and as long as you're trying your absolute best, then it's fine.
حاشاك أن يبقى هشيما مربعي كل الذي